good afternoon. Just checking in for today. So we are currently at home. We had a bit of a situation pop up at home that we needed our attention. So we had to hastily leave Newton, New Jersey, and find our way up here to home on July 4th. And it was a nightmare trying
to get a car. It was the 4th of July, and every place was closed.
All the rental places were closed.
Where they were out of cars, or
Yeah.
I
mean, the airport had cars. So Newark Airport was over an hour away. Nothing closer than that from where we were. There was a Home Depot next door that had a cargo van.
We were close to getting the cargo van.
That close to riding up in a Home Depot cargo van. But then we'd have to return it back to New Jersey. So we're like, you know what? We got to get a regular rental car. So anyway, we got an Uber to the Newark Airport. Got a rental car up here that we were able to drop off at the local airport. So it was a process, very expensive process to get home. But we needed to be home. It was an emergency situation. Nobody's, not life or death, but it was something we needed to be home for. So now we're in a situation where we want to get back on trail. We had to peel out of New Jersey, and that's kind of in the middle of New Jersey. But, we still want to put on some miles and be relatively close to home. So, where we live in New Hampshire, it's not too far for us to get to Vermont and to get to New Hampshire. So we put together a plan B over the last day, basically. And I think we're going to get back on trail tomorrow morning in Vermont. We are going to tackle the state of Vermont right from the southern tip, and we'll see if we can do the whole state. And then probably a good part of New Hampshire. Our son has a procedure. We'll see how it goes. Son has a procedure in a couple of weeks, which we need to take him to. So we want to stay close in case something happens. For the next couple
of weeks, we're going to stay close to home.
Yep.
And so we're going to have our cars with us as well. So if we need to come home, we have a car.
So there's a couple people we've run into out here that have been using the car shuffle situation, and we thought that might work for us where we're kind of close to home. It wouldn't have worked for most of the trail, but I think for Vermont and New Hampshire, we're going to put one car on one end and one on the other. We've just loaded up our day packs. Mine was like 10.5 pounds, and yours is 11. I think you had a little more food or something in yours, but versus 35-pound, 40-pound packs with fully loaded. So we're hoping that we can use this slack pack to just put on some miles. We'll see. We'll see how the terrain works out in Vermont and New Hampshire. We've hiked in New Hampshire. We're well aware of the terrain, and this was something we were kicking around anyway, of just getting our day packs and trying to do some of the big peaks in New Hampshire.
Slack packing.
Yeah,
our first slack packing.
We have mixed feelings about it. We're not crazy about doing it. I think we would both rather have just kept our packs and done the whole thing from beginning to end. But we're just not in a situation right now where we can be back down in New Jersey. We need to be close to home. And we need to have that ability to get home, because we were really hung out to dry on the 4th trying to get back home, and it cost us a lot of money. Uber's great, and our Uber driver was fantastic, but that's not cheap to go.
He was a great guy.
He was
a great conversation.
Great guy. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better Uber driver. He was fantastic. It was a great experience, but it was just not cheap. And rental cars, what's up with all the hidden fees? Don't even get me started. All right. Anyway. But anyway.
So instead of ending our trip, we're going to try to still finish.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be a little choppy.
Yeah. We were really talking about it on the drive up from New Jersey, where we weren't sure that we could be able to finish if we were going to be home for a couple of weeks. We've missed time, and we had to get our son to college, and then we had an injury, came home for, and now a few days here.
And we're kind of slow.
Yeah,
we're slow.
and the heat, like we got off the trail for the heat. It was brutal.
Yep.
And then there's weather and there's rain, and so it's like this might allow us an opportunity to keep hiking, like knowing we have a dry pair of clothes waiting for us in the next car. We'll just hike in the rain and get soaked. Whereas before, you know,
I mean, we did that anyway.
We did. It was miserable.
Yeah,
it was miserable.
Was
but
tough.
I don't know. It is what it is. There are other people that are doing something similar. And actually, this idea kind of came from another guy who we had met in a hotel, and he and his wife were doing that. His wife actually broke some ribs.
They started the trail together, and his wife broke some ribs, so she had to end her. She ended it for her, but then he still wanted to finish, so she was picking him up at the trailheads, and they would sleep in the car.
And she took the seats out and made beds, and so they do. He hikes all day. He's doing like 20 to 25 miles a day with a light pack, and his wife resupplies, and they just camp out in a car, and every few week or so, I guess, they go to a hotel and do laundry. That's where we met him.
Showers, yeah.
And I'm like, that's just a brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
We stole it from him. I mean, I thought that was just a brilliant idea. And there was another couple from New Hampshire, an older couple, who they're sectioning it, and they did the same thing. We actually, was it Virginia we ran into them, or was it Pennsylvania? I think it was Pennsylvania. We ran into them, and they were just doing sections, and they had both their cars down here. I mean, we kept seeing New Hampshire plates in the parking lot.
They had started the trail. Their intention was to do the whole trail, I think, last year.
Yeah, it might have been last year. There was 1 year.
They had tried to do it, but their knees didn't hold up. So it's turning into a section for them. So they're finishing up. They're doing sections.
I mean, then that was one of the options for us, is just to get off and then finish it later. Mm. But we really want to do it.
I really want to do it in 1 year. I want to do it in one season, So we jump it ahead. We're going to do Vermont. And then we'll see how things go. Yeah. Hopefully then we'll go back down. We'll do New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and then we'll just jump ahead and do New Hampshire and Maine.
So that's our new plan, and we'll see. We're going to be camping out in the Explorer. We got our bed set up in the Explorer, so maybe tomorrow's recap will show you a picture of what we got going on. I mean, it's either going to work well or it's not going to work very well. I mean, we think we've got some trailheads, parking areas picked out, but sometimes you just never know what you're going to run into. So I'm sure that'll be an adventure. But anyway, that is the update for today, and we'll update you tomorrow. All right, bye.